So, welcome, Jason Stein. Great to meet you. And I'd love if you could just introduce yourself and tell us what is it that you love about what you do.
Well, I'm Jason Stein. I live out in the woods in Oregon, the state of Oregon in the States. And what I do is I am a business consultant that works with small business owners who want to make a difference in the world and they have to make a profit. And I love what I do. What do I love what I do? Is that the question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. I love people that have ideas and they want to put those in a place where those ideas make the world a better place and it helps sustain them at the same time.
So, what is it about that kind of gives you joy?
Well, let me start with the not joy part. And
Mm.
my training and background is that of an acupuncturist. I was a doctor of Oriental medicine in a Western hospital here in the States. And the majority of the patients that came to me were becoming ill from their working environment. And I worked with a lot of work comp and a lot of hospital staff and a lot of patients, all which hated their job. Like it really was misery for them. And I realized I wanted to work on the beginning ends of that so that people didn't have to get to a place where they hated what they did to have to heal or not heal. Some of them were in pretty bad shape.
Wow.
So
And
the joy that I get is that people that want to make a difference in the world are the ones that actually end up making a difference. And there are many companies and many small businesses out there making the world a better place. And I love it because I love healing and I love healing arts and I love business.
I can see you kind of lighting up as you say it. So cool. It's cool to watch.
Yeah, it's not just my own clients either. I love tracking with there are small business here in the States and even in the UK around the world that an example is there is a Whole Foods, like a natural supermarket here in the States called New Seasons.
Mhm.
And their campaign slogan is the friendliest store in town. And they are. It's like when I walk in there, it's like your friend. They're like everyone says hello, and I don't know if it's that the company, the CEO has decided that like $10 or under every checker cashier can just wave something if there's been a mistake, or I can't
Mm.
tell you the number of times that they've given me some food, and it just is. I like going there. It's a good experience.
There's something really infectious about you as you're talking. You know, I've seen it in a couple of people actually, and I can see it in you now. It's nice to watch. It's inviting. So,
I'll say thank you.
just imagine for a second that you've got someone who is telling you about how tough their circumstances are, and they desperately want to find, the work that they love, or even just doing something small that they love, but they're stuck in their current reality, and it's fear based and lots of other things. From where you are now, what kind of advice would you give them? Where should they start?
It's a great question. I think the place to start is for them to really notice their body. That when they're really stuck and they really hate what they're doing for a living, to notice the full impact that it's having in their full experience. So maybe even closing their eyes and thinking about how much they hate it and seeing where can they name that in their body and actually listening to their body to see if there's any wisdom there. Um, the other thing is that money's not the end all. There's a Native American quote, and I don't remember it verbatim, but it's something like, when the waters are dried up and the woods are chopped down and the animals can no longer survive and your garden dies, you can't eat money. And so to know that if you're working for the dollar or the pound or the euro or whatever it is, that ultimately your happiness can't survive. And where if you're working for a purpose, like a vision or a something that makes your heart sing, it no longer comes to all the material world, but it's about sustainability. And it's easier to sustain happiness than it is wealth.
I hear you. And I'm kind of, I'm wanting to turn the light back on you a little bit and say,
yeah.
So when, because I don't make up that it's all plain sailing, even though you do what you love, and it clearly, you know, I'm sure there are times that really challenge you.
Oh, yeah.
And it's easy to get caught up in those kind of, the way the world works around money. What keeps you strong?
Remembering oneness keeps me strong, that we're all tied together, you know. We all are human, and we hear a story that's been around for 100 years, and we all relate to it because we have that sameness. So there is a relatability that no matter where you're from or what you're doing, that we are from the same thread. That keeps me going.
Because what does that give you, Jason?
Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope that we tread the same path, or?
Yeah, hope that I'm not alone.
Yeah.
You know, I think the hardest thing to do in the business world is try to make changes alone. And when I'm struggling in my small business, because there are struggles sometimes I have a client that it's not gelling, or I make mistakes and I drop balls, and I have that voice that everyone has. It's like, oh my God, that was such a stupid mistake, blah, blah, We all have that. And then I remember that I'm not alone in that that's an experience that you have, and that I have, and that we can meet there. So
yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you. Mm-hmm. If I'm also conscious of what you do, and I know you've helped me tremendously in my business. So if people wanted to get in contact with you, how would they do that, Jason?
I love that you asked that question.
Of course.
You can find me at heartofbusiness.com. And there's three of us. And so we are a very small firm here based out of Portland, but we work globally. And my recommendation for anyone that wants to find me, you can always email me if there was something in this short video that sparked you or inspired you, at jason@heartofbusiness.com.
Thank you so much, Jason. And I can see the breeze blowing behind you. It's lovely.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.